Breaking news coming out overnight with attacks unfolding between Israel and Hezbollah. And what they are saying is phase one of the war that is going to be unfolding here. Now, I'm going to get you caught up on the latest as to what exactly is taking place here, as we are hearing that there was a preemptive attack that took place. Israel actually had intel and knew that Hezbollah was about to attack, and as a result, they jumped in and did their attacks against Lebanon's Hezbollah. Now, I'm going to share with you what has unfolded, as then we heard that Lebanon launched the largest, most massive attack from their Hezbollah group against Israel. And a lot of people have been saying, when is the response going to come? The retaliation? When is the war going to be starting? And we are now hearing it could be here. We're hearing that this is not the end. What has unfolded overnight, this is just the beginning. They are saying this is phase one of what has unfolded. And you can see the footage in the background of the rockets being fired, the Iron Dome being active with what took place just last night. So let me share this with you now. This unfolded over the course of the middle of the night. I think it was midnight here on Central Standard Time when I saw all of the reports rolling in that Israel was doing a preemptive attack to try to stop and thwart what was coming from Hezbollah. Now, articles coming out all over. I'm sure you've probably already seen it in the news with the attacks that unfolded overnight, but I'm going to be sharing with you the latest coming out from ABC News with the updates. And yes, people are saying that this is directly going to be impacting the United States, that we will be involved in this as Israel, Hamas, Iran, Hezbollah, Lebanon, Yemen, all of these actors are involved in wanting to attack Israel, and the United States right there by their side trying to stop and thwart what potentially we're hearing could be coming and unfolding. So let me share with you the latest on this. Now, do me a favor. I see this Sunday morning, August the 25th, 2024. It's 9:53 a.m. here in Houston, Texas, Central Standard Time. If you appreciate the updates, before we dive in, take a quick second, hit that like button for me. I see we've got about 800 people live with me, 160 likes. If you could hit that like button, just helps spread this out further so more people can get the information. Also, to stay up to date on everything that's unfolding, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and this article that I'm going to be referencing is actually linked in the description below for you, so that way you can see it for yourself as well. I cite all the sources so you know exactly what is going on. Now, this article coming out here from ABC News, it says what to know about the heavy exchange of fire between Israel and Lebanon's Hezbollah overnight. Israel and Lebanon's Hezbollah, they have launched their heaviest exchange of fire after months of strikes and counterstrikes, raising fears of an all-out war that could potentially draw in the United States, Iran, and militant groups across the region. Israel and Lebanon's Hezbollah on Sunday launched their heaviest exchanges of fire after months of strikes and counterstrikes that have raised fears of all-out war, and a lot of people saying that this would be the beginning of World War III. Now, let me know your thoughts. If you think that this is the beginning of World War III, put a 3 in the comments. If you think no, just go ahead and put no. Now, by mid-morning today, it appeared that the exchange of the fire had come to an end, with both sides saying that they had only aimed at military targets. The Israeli strikes ended the lives of 3 militants in Lebanon, while there were no reports of casualties on the Israeli side, but the situation remains tense. Now, here's a look at where things currently stand. Israel says around 100 warplanes launched airstrikes targeting thousands of rockets launchers across southern Lebanon to thwart an imminent Hezbollah attack. So they had received intel that this was going to be coming that night, and as a result, they preemptively attacked to stop it. Hezbollah then said that it launched hundreds of rockets and drones aimed at military bases and missiles, defense positions in northern Israel and Israeli-annexed Golan Heights. Now, Hezbollah called the attacks an initial response to the targeted assassination of one of its founding members and top commanders, Fouad Shukur, in an Israeli airstrike in Beirut last month. It said its military operations for Sunday were concluded. So they said that this first phase is over and that they would allow the strikes to get deeper into Israel in the future. It denied Israel's claims to have thwarted the attack without offering evidence for this claim. So they are saying that They believe this first phase, they're saying it is done, but there's going to be more phases coming. They're saying that this is not over by any means, that there's going to be more on the way. And we're hearing that there is concern that this is going to escalate into something much larger that will pull in the United States. Now, 2 Hezbollah fighters and a militant from the allied groups lost their lives, and 2 people were wounded in the strikes on Lebanon. Lieutenant Colonel Nadav Shoshani, an Israeli militant spokesperson, said in the initial assessment that showed very little damage in Israel. Sunday's exchange of fire did not set off a long-feared war like we have been anticipating, and the heavy firepower and lack of civilian casualties might allow both sides to claim a sort of victory and then take a step back. But tensions still remain high at this time. So again, we're hearing that this is essentially good news, the fact that it did not escalate into something much bigger, but the long-anticipated retaliation of Iran through their proxy groups against Israel, we're hearing that this was phase 1. More than 500 people. Exchange escalated in the recent months. More than 500 people have lost their lives in Lebanon by Israeli strikes since October 8th, most of them fighters with Hezbollah and other armed groups, but also more than 100 civilians and non-combatants. In northern Israel, 23 soldiers and 26 civilians have lost their lives by strikes that have occurred by Lebanon. Tens of thousands of people have been displaced on both sides with the tense frontier. Israel has vowed to bring quiet to the border to allow its citizens to return to their homes. It says it prefers to resolve the issue diplomatically through the U.S. and other mediators, but will use force if necessary. Hezbollah officials have said that the group does not seek a wider war, but it is prepared for one. So we are hearing there is preparation for a greater war. And again, the United States right in the middle of everything that is taking place. Israel and Hezbollah, they fought a month-long war in 2006 that left much of the southern Beirut and southern Lebanon in ruins and drove hundreds of thousands of people from their homes on both sides. Everyone expected the next war to be far worse. Now, Hezbollah has estimated 150,000 rockets are capable of being sent. Hezbollah has an estimated 150,000 rockets and is capable of hitting all parts of Israel. It has also developed an increasingly sophisticated fleet of drones and has been experimenting with precision-guided missiles. A full-scale war could force hundreds of thousands of Israelis to flee, paralyze the Israeli economy, and force the army, which is still engaged in Gaza, to fight on 2 fronts. So they're saying that this could divide up the Israeli war, one in the north with Hezbollah, one in the south with Hamas. Israel has vowed a crushing response to any major Hezbollah attack that would likely devastate Lebanon's civilian structure and economy, which has been mired in crisis for years. Beirut's southern suburbs and towns and villages across southern Lebanon, where Hezbollah's main stronghold are located, would likely be flattened. An Israeli ground invasion to root out Hezbollah could drag on for years. The militant group is far more advanced and better armed than Hamas in Gaza. So they're saying that this is going to be a much more sophisticated and developed war that will be necessary against Hezbollah rather than Hamas because of their advancements and their support from Iran, which is still putting up a fight after 10 months of intense Israeli bombardment and ground maneuvers. An all-out war between Israel and Hezbollah could spiral into a regional, wider conflict. Iran is a patron of Hezbollah, Hamas, and other militant groups in Syria, Iraq, and Yemen. Iran has vowed to carry out its own retaliatory strike over the assassination of Hamas's top leader, Ismail Haniyeh, in a blast in its capital last month that was widely blamed on Israel. Israel has not said whether it was involved in the attack. Iran-backed groups across the region have repeatedly attacked Israel, U.S., and international targets since the start of the war in Gaza, and could ramp them up in a bid to take pressure off of Hezbollah. The United States, meanwhile, and again, like I said, we are going to be right in the middle of this as we are supporting Israel. The United States, meanwhile, has pledged ironclad support for Israel and moved a vast array of military assets to the Middle East in recent weeks to try to deter any retaliatory strikes by Iran or Hezbollah. by Iran or Hezbollah. The USS Abraham Lincoln recently joined another aircraft carrier strike group in the region. A U.S.-led coalition helped shoot down hundreds of missiles and drones fired by Iran towards Israel in April in response to an apparent Israeli strike in Syria that ended the lives of 2 Iranian generals. And the tensions have gradually subsided from that. Both sides have downplayed it, and apparent Israeli counterstrikes on Iran and tensions have gradually subsided. Now, the United States, Egypt, and Qatar, they have spent months trying to broker an agreement for a ceasefire in Gaza and the release of scores of hostages held by Hamas. Those efforts have gained urgency in recent weeks as diplomats view such a deal as the best hope for lowering the region's tensions. And again, I shared this with you before, that what we had heard was unfolding was that there was peace talks that were trying to be done, ceasefire agreements and releasing the hostages. We heard the United States had brokered an agreement that Israel said that they would agree to. Hamas said no. And we had heard that as a result of them saying no, that Israel and the United States were anticipating that we would be seeing war escalate between the Iranian proxy groups and Israel. Hezbollah has said that it will halt its attacks along the border if there is a ceasefire in Gaza. It's unclear whether Hezbollah or Iran would halt or scale back their threatened retaliatory strikes over the assassination of Shakur and Hania, but neither wants to be seen as the spoiler of any ceasefire deal. Despite the intense diplomacy, major gaps remain, including Israel's demand for a lasting presence along 2 strategic corridors in Gaza, a demand rejected by Hamas and Egypt. High-level talks will be held in Egypt on Sunday today. So, man, let me know your thoughts. They're trying to do everything that they can to try to stop the war, to try to keep things from escalating and turning into all-out war. And like I said, a lot of people concerned about the United States' involvement. We are hearing that we will be right in the middle of this, and that the conflicts that are taking place could escalate into all-out regional war. A lot of talks that this is the beginnings of World War III. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I know that I had seen all those threes pouring in of people saying that this is World War III, the beginning of it. We have seen so much unfolding with China, Taiwan, with Russia, Ukraine, now Israel and Iran and their proxy groups. And what we're hearing is that a lot of people are saying this is where World War III will begin. Let me know your thoughts. Now, like I said, this just came out overnight. And I will keep you guys up to speed on everything. And like I said, I cite all the sources, put it on the screen. I see somebody saying MGO Rico saying fake. Hey, if you want to know whether or not you can believe me or whatever, I always tell everybody, don't believe me, don't believe anybody. All you got to do is do your own research. And what I do is I provide my information for my audience. I link it in the below so I can hold myself accountable, and I can go ahead and show you guys where it is I'm getting the information. This is not coming from Steve Ram. I am not live on the scene. I'm pulling the reports, showing you the footage, so that way you can see it for yourself. So, like I said, I just go ahead and provide that to you. I will keep you guys up to date. A lot of people have been anticipating this for quite some time. Like I said, as this unfolds, because we're hearing that this is just phase 1 of what is going to be coming, I will keep you guys up to date on everything so you know exactly what is taking place. Now, we're going to be seeing what the response is. Like I said, this was the anticipated attack from Hezbollah, Iranian's proxy group against Israel. Israel got intel that it was coming and preemptively attacked them before they could attack, and as a result, there was major attacks overnight, the largest that we've seen in quite some time. And we're hearing this is phase 1. They said as of this morning, it appears that the attacks, there's a pause, but this is just the first phase of what is to unfold. So there's going to be a whole lot more on the way, and hopefully this does not escalate. We're hearing the United States and other groups are trying to be the mediators to try to bring peace to the region, but it does not seem likely. But whatever unfolds, though, like I said, I will keep you guys up to date. Now, do me a favor. I see we've got 1,365 people live with me in the room. Please take a second, hit that like button for me. I see we've got 600 likes. If we can get that up, it just helps spread this out further so more people get the information. I know it's not what we want to hear. We don't like the information coming out, but if you could take a second to hit that like button, it just shows that YouTube sees that you appreciate the information, spreads it out further. So that helps out a ton. Hit subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. I'll keep you up to speed on everything. And also, like I said, this article coming out from ABC News updated just a little while ago this morning as the attacks took place overnight. This is linked in the description along with additional resources. If you or your family is looking to prepare, if you're looking for, like, there's EMP fabrics to keep you safe from an EMP strike, protect your electronics, that's linked down below. Additional resources for batteries, for maps, flashlights, candles, generators. All of these are linked in the description below. Trying to make sure that all of my subscribers here on the channel have as many resources available to them as much as possible. Roy Chong says, like the video, peeps. Thank you for the support, Roy. I appreciate that. Julia says, Julia, $10 super chat. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate that a ton. Steve, Bay Area stands with you, says RJ Paradise. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. This war is a continuous, ongoing 3,000-year-old struggle, says Lude Duke. Lude, you are 100% right. This is not something that unfolded over the last 60 years or the past couple years. This has been going on for thousands of years in this area. Fights in the region over the land, over religious beliefs. There's an assortment of things. This is not a new thing. So understanding the history to what is taking place is absolutely key. I agree with you 100%. Now, also, let me know in the comments if you're a believer, because if you're a believer and you understand the history and according to the Bible or the Quran, that gives a lot of insight. Let me know. Put praying hands if you're a praying believer and you understand the background as to what is going on. And this is not just simply something that has unfolded over the past century or so. And also, as you put those praying hands, remember to say a prayer for our world, say a prayer for the Middle East and all the conflict that is going on, that we can hopefully reduce the loss of life, reduce those that are being impacted, the innocent, and that God is with people all over the world with what is unfolding. And like I said, though, whatever takes place, I will keep you guys up to speed. But what we do know is that things are ramping up. We've been waiting for the response for several weeks, and I saw a lot of people saying, when's it going to happen? Almost jokingly, making it like it's not like a very impactful thing that's going on. And it's like, no, this is going to happen. And sure enough, last night, the first phase of these attacks unfolding. And this is very serious. This is impacting a lot of people all over the world. And the United States will be feeling the impacts of this if it increases significantly more. So I will keep you guys up to date every step of the way so that way you know exactly what is taking place. And look at all those prayer hands coming in. I see Jana, Robin, Sunny, Paula, RJ, Lori, Susan, Jerry, Marlene, Luann, super cute baby cat, Hugo Love, Todd, Jenna. Thank you guys. Susan, Gianna, I see all you guys. Kimmy with the praying hands. It means a lot. I personally believe that prayer works. Rose 300, Becky Norton. And I believe that pray for our world, pray for the people that are over there in the middle of the conflict. This is crazy. Can you imagine? Look at the video footage of what was unfolding last night. To me, it's just absolutely incredible that people are living their lives in the middle of this conflict. Let us pray for them and pray that things subside. I believe that prayer works. We can push back against this in prayer, that there can be peace in the Middle East at this time. But like I said, whatever unfolds, I will keep you guys up to speed. 800 likes. Wow. Can I get another 90 likes? So put us up at 900. That would be awesome. And also, if you missed the video footage yesterday that I shared with you guys, absolutely incredible. We received World War III nuclear warnings from North Korea yesterday. Kim Jong-un very upset with the United States. So in addition to what's going on in the Middle East, we've got North Korea that is issuing threats to the U.S. In addition to that, we've also got conflict happening with Russia and Ukraine. Kim Jong-un saying that he was not happy that the Biden administration had changed their nuclear strategy. We heard China come out and say just last week as well that the United States is the biggest potential threat to the world for nuclear war. said that the United States was hypocritical in their stances, holding other nations to a certain level of which they're not holding themselves. And then yesterday, North Korea coming out and saying that they felt threatened by the United States as well. And as a result, they're just going to keep on building their nuclear arsenals. And Kim Jong-un saying that he was very upset that the United States was sending over Apache helicopters and other equipment to support South Korea. And during the DNC, Kamala Harris called Kim Jong-un a tyrant dictator, and apparently he took offense to that and was not happy. So right now, North Korea is on edge with the United States and what has been unfolding. So we have got several different fronts right now that are involving the United States and potential conflict that is on the way. And then this happening overnight. And I see we've got 1,500 people live with me in the room. So again, for those of you that are hopping on a little bit late, just an update. Overnight attacks finally took place between Hezbollah and Israel. I covered for you everything that you need to know. Israel and Lebanon's Hezbollah, they launched the heaviest exchange of fire after months of strikes and counterstrikes, raising fears last night of an all-out war that could emerge, that could potentially draw in the United States and Iran and militant groups across the region. So that unfolded. What happened was Israel had received word that Lebanon was finally ready to attack. Israel intervened, indeed, a preemptive attack against the Hezbollah groups in Lebanon. Then Hezbollah launched their attacks, and throughout the night, attacks taking place, things escalating. And what they are saying is not the end this morning, but just the beginning, phase one of what is to come. And like the article said, we are very concerned that this could escalate into something much greater. We've been hearing the warnings for quite some time that the United States will be caught up right in the middle of this. As the United States has said, we will stand by Israel's side. We will have their back throughout all of this. They are our ally, and we will help push off these other nations in the region and these proxy groups that want to harm Israel. So a lot unfolding overnight, you guys. And I saw all the threes pouring in of people who said they thought that this was the beginning of World War III. We will see. I will keep you up to date. But like I said, also to put those prayer hands, and I saw all those prayer hands of people that are going to be praying for the situation that is going on in the Middle East right now. And I will keep you guys up to speed every step of the way. Anthony Silva, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that a ton. Lonnie Griffith, thank you for the $2 super chat. Says Steve Ram, thank you for the real news. You are very welcome. I will continue to do my best to keep you guys up to speed on everything so you know exactly what is going on. Now, also, do me a favor really quick. Can you hear me and see me okay? Because I am getting a message that my connection is not good. Not sure if you can still hear me and see me. Please let me know if you can in the comments. Put a 5x5 if you still see me and hear me, because I cannot see myself right now. The connection information coming in is that it is not good. Well, let me know if you can see me all right. MPH is saying World War III is starting. Yes, thank you for the real news, says Dean. Everyone's saying yes, they can still hear me and see me. Okay, so I'm flying blind right now. I don't know why I am getting all this information that I have a weak signal and that I can't see you guys, but everyone else is saying that they can, so that's great. So like I said, though, I think that's pretty much the latest news. Overnight, what has unfolded. And like I said, if you missed the other conflicts happening with the United States, check out my videos right after this one. But you guys, do me a favor, 6 more likes, and we'll have 1,000 likes on this live stream. That would be awesome. Thank you. Oh, there it is. 1,002 likes. Robin MP, thank you for the $5 super chat. I will keep you guys up to speed on everything as it unfolds. That is the latest. This is linked in the description below. Subscribe to stay up to date. And you guys, I will catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for joining me.